Hari Om. Today I am going to speak on chapter 12. Chapter 12 is considered the chapter of Bhakti Yoga, but it's in continuation of the previous chapters 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. If you remember the chapter 10 and 11, the 11th is the Vishwarupa Darshan, the cosmic form of the Paramatma, the divine. And that form is really not a kind and compassionate dimension for Arjuna or for our human consciousness. That form is infinite. It's a pure form of energy. There is no space and no time dimension to that form. It's omnipresent, omnipotent, which scared Arjuna, and he requested Sri Krishna to take away that cosmic form and present himself into a human form, which is more compassionate, which is more understanding, which is more easy to grasp. Now that same subject, same theme, Sri Krishna is starting in chapter 12. So he says to Arjuna that those people who try and understand this cosmic dimension of Paramatma, of course they reach that highest state, the Paramatma Pad, the moksha, freedom from the birth and death cycle. But it's very hard. It's not as easy, which you have experienced. So now I'm going to tell you the other form, which is more gentle, which is something that you can connect with the human dimension of your mind. Arjuna asks why it is difficult. The Sri Krishna's answer is again simple. He says because the Atma is contained in the human form. That human body becomes easier for the Atma to understand. And for you to evolve, this Saguna Roop, the manifested human form, with the help of that, you can achieve the Paramatma Pad. So how to achieve it? Sri Krishna has given 4 options, but these options are coming from the previous chapters. The first option, Sri Krishna says that the Mano and Buddhi, the mind and the intellect, bring it to that cosmic dimension. This subject we have discussed in chapter 2, Sthita Prajna, the absolute control of mind, balancing the intellect. Balancing the emotions, balancing the thoughts. So this is the first option he tells Arjuna that he can practice to reach this moksha and cosmic dimension. The second option that Sri Krishna says is the chapter 6, the path of Ashtanga Yoga. Of course, Sri Krishna, when he lived, it was probably 5,000 years ago. Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga was discussed by Patanjali 2,500 years ago. But the similar path that Sri Krishna has discussed in chapter 6, the Dhyana Yoga, practicing strict yoga lifestyle, trying to harmonize the body and mind, following yamas and niyamas, asanas, pranayam, asana, pranayam, meditation, and then with that dimension, realizing the true nature of the consciousness, That is the second option Sri Krishna tells Arjuna. The third option, Sri Krishna says, is connected with chapters 7, 8, 9. With this state of Atma-Jnana, or this self-realization, you start performing your actions as yajna, that is, offering it to the divine dimension. So why I am doing this karma? To give back, to restore that balance in the nature, offering it to the Paramatma as a part of my duty, as a part of my role. And the last path Sri Krishna talks about is renunciation of the fruit of my actions. And in fact, if you see all these first three paths, they also take you to the same state. Renunciation of your attachments, giving up your fruits of your action and offering it to the cosmic. So if you look at these four options, Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, the starting point is start controlling your sensory organs, control your mind, balance your intellect, and through that you will realize yourself, Atma-Jnana. And through that Atma-Jnana you will understand the importance of the creation. Then you will establish relations with every object, that Vishwa-Jnana, that Vijnana. And then through that you will learn to give up the attachment to the fruit, and that is the most important, because that non-attachment will bring you absolute peace, and that will take you to that highest state of moksha. And this is the subject of chapter 12. If you do that, what will happen? Sri Krishna has given the ideal personality of this yogi who has achieved this highest level. Bhakta is that person who has achieved that oneness with the cosmic dimension. So now how is this personality? But before we go to this Bhagavad Gita personality, I just want to bring in some interesting points to you. In psychology, there are a lot of personality theories, and these personality theories have actually tried to analyze what are the reasons for our mental disorders. Personality, abnormal personality, too much anxiety, abnormal personality, mental problem, too much anger, abnormal personality. Interesting thing is, if you really look at these criterias in the field of psychiatry and psychology, they have discovered lots and lots of mental disorders. There are these criteria called Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, version 4, version 5, DSM-4, DSM-5, published by American Psychiatric Association, which is used all over the world by psychiatrists and psychologists. And it describes various mental disorders. Very interesting thing is, there is a lot of analysis of what happens in the negative state of our mind. Oh, there's this stress and that can lead to this PTSD. Oh, there's this anxiety, it can lead to this anxiety disorders or these phobias or this OCDs, depression. All of these disorders are evaluated. Around 250 plus mental disorders are written in these books. The interesting thing is, what is the definition of a normal personality? I told you abnormal, that is negative personality, negativity in the personal experience. Normal, the definition of normal is absence of abnormal, which is very vague. Everyone has anxiety. Then what qualifies you to be called as the person suffering from anxiety disorders? The criteria are there. You feel continuous anxiety, then you feel this fear, then your everyday functioning is influenced, like your job, your personal life, they are all influenced. But the criteria say that if you are influenced by these anxiety issues for more than 6 months, then only that's a problem. So the criteria is very vague. What Sri Krishna has done here, or for that matter the whole idea of yoga, is yoga has not only talked about the negative dimension of the personality or normal dimension, but it has talked about the positive dimension of the personality. What is that positive dimension that one needs to try and achieve? And if you see this chapter 12 description of Bhakta, it's nothing but a positive personality. And in that positive personality, a lot of qualities Sri Krishna has given. I told you that the Saguna dimension, the manifested human form of divine, of Sri Krishna, is what Arjuna wanted. But Sri Krishna has elaborated that form, and he says that form, that human dimension that you need to worship or you need to focus on or you need to try and copy it, is actually a personality with qualities. In our history of mankind, we always have worshipped people, our great masters. You have a statue of Buddha. What are you actually doing when you look at the statue? You are worshipping his qualities. If you see the statue, how does the statue look? The statue is in a meditative pose. You don't see a statue of Buddha eating the food. You see the statue of Buddha sitting in meditation, a contentment on his face, a kindness and compassion on in his body language. And these qualities you worship when you look at Buddha. When you see the statue of Krishna, look at this beautiful statue of Sri Krishna. That beautiful smile is telling you that unconditional love that is there in his eyes and in his heart. Playing the flute is a bamboo stick. Inside it's empty. That emptiness represents ego-less state, no ego. So when you look at this statue of Sri Krishna, you are worshipping these virtues, these qualities, and that is Bhakti Yoga. Sometimes you see the statues of the great kings who have established rule of law, who has established some positive values in the society. We are not necessarily worshipping them as a human being. We are worshipping them because of those qualities. So actually we are trying to remind ourselves that these qualities are higher. And this is exactly what is discussed in chapter 12 in great details. So I am going to go to these qualities. And this is actually there deeper inside. We all like money. But how many of us have a statue of a rich man with a lot of money in his hand in our house? No one. We don't have any of that. Because though we want money, deeper inside we understand what we are looking for. And we are looking for these virtues. The first virtue that Sri Krishna says that Arjuna needs to pay attention to is Adveshta, the one who has no hatred to any living or non-living object. Adveshta sarva bhutanam, sarva bhuta, all living beings, doesn't hate anyone. Maitri, friendship, he treats every living being as his friend. Third, Karuna, the one who is full of compassion, the one who is full of unconditional love. Next, Nirmamo and Nirahankara. Two words Sri Krishna has used, Nirmama and Nirahankar. This is a very significant part of our life, me and mine. Everything is about me. See, in the day, right from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, it's all about me. I like this. I want this. I need my space. I feel this. I'm thinking like this. I can't handle this. I don't like this. This I is a very big force in us. And most of the times, it's bringing negative experience to us. My likes and my dislikes, if I combine, the baggage is so heavy, it's hard for me to walk. Oh, walking, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like the temperature. I don't like this floor. Oh, I don't like this color. So many of these dislikes are there. And they create a lot of stress to me. So Sri Krishna is saying that this bhakta, the ideal personality, it doesn't have this me and mine. There is no ego dimension. And because there is no ego, the life becomes very easy. The next, sukha dukkha samana, this sama balanced. Sukha and dukkha, the pleasure and pain, you treat equally. If you get the chocolate, no pleasure. And if you lose the chocolate, no pain. Balanced. This we discussed in chapter 2, Sthita Prajna, same thing. Then Kshamavan, Kshami, the one who is forgiving. Easily one can forgive and move on. It's hard for us to move on. People wait for years for someone to say sorry. And the other person also doesn't say sorry for years and years and years. Relationships break because of this little thing. No forgiveness. No, why should I? Of course, it's connected with ego. But the one who is bhakta, the ideal personality, he is very forgiving.